In the far reaches of the galaxy, a council of alien species met in a grand hall aboard a massive orbital station. The walls shimmered with data streams showing star systems, fleets, and galactic maps. Leaders of every major species in the sector had gathered to discuss the coming war over a newly discovered energy-rich system. Reports say an uncharted world lies in that system, said Thalor, the reptilian commander of the Coalition fleet. His voice was deep and harsh, echoing in the chamber. Some texts claim it is called Earth, but the records are old. That planet is extinct. The chamber fell silent. For centuries, humans had been spoken of only in myths and old data logs. Ancient explorers had encountered them long ago, and humanity had vanished from galactic memory. Most leaders treated the stories as legends, fun to recall but irrelevant to real politics. Extinct or not, we should not waste time on fairy tales, said Lyra, the insectoid diplomat, clicking her mandibles in annoyance. We have real enemies to face. This Earth is meaningless. But even as the leaders argued, sensors aboard the Coalition scouts picked up something unusual. A faint energy signature, almost imperceptible, hovered near the coordinates of the mythical planet. The analysts dismissed it at first. Probably remnants of an old station or a comet, one young officer said nervously. Yet the signal persisted. It was structured, deliberate. It was not natural, far away. In the human system, the surface of Earth had changed little in appearance. But beneath the seas, forests, and cities, humans had been quietly preparing for centuries. Their planet was no longer isolated. Humanity had reached for the stars in secret. Massive orbital shipyards and hidden bases were scattered across moons and asteroid belts. Humans had been building ships, training soldiers, and creating technology far beyond what any other species imagined. In a command center orbiting a small moon, Admiral Morgan watched the galaxy through a wide viewing screen. Ships glimmered against the black canvas of space, sleek, dark, and bristling with weapons. Each vessel moved with precision like a single organism. Are we ready, Admiral? Asked Lieutenant Harris, standing beside her. Morgan nodded, her eyes calm but determined. They think we are gone. That is our advantage. The galaxy believes humans are nothing but a story. Soon they will learn the truth. Meanwhile, the alien scouts had begun transmitting their observations back to the Coalition. The first human ships had appeared in their scans, small, fast, and maneuvering in ways alien engineers had never seen. The aliens stared at the images, disbelief written across their faces. They are real, whispered one young officer. But that can't be. Humanity was destroyed centuries ago. The aliens scrambled to analyze the data. Their scientists ran simulations, checked historical logs, and compared star charts. Every calculation suggested humans should have been extinct. Yet here they were, alive, thriving, and armed with technology that rivaled the Coalition's best. Back on Earth, the humans were not panicked. They had expected skepticism and doubt. They had prepared carefully for this moment, knowing that stealth, strategy, and patience were their greatest weapons. In a briefing room on the moon station called Lunar Base Alpha, human strategists discussed the coming confrontation. We cannot reveal ourselves too soon, said Commander Lee, tracing the alien fleet movements on a holographic map. They will attack if they know we are ready. We need to study them, learn their patterns, and choose the right moment to act. Are they really so strong? Asked a young officer, worry in her voice. Lee smiled faintly. They are strong in numbers and arrogance. They underestimate us. That is our strength. Humans adapt, humans think differently, and humans never give up. Thousands of light years away, the Alien Council continued to debate the importance of this mythical planet. Some wanted to ignore it entirely, believing the stories were fabrications of old explorers. Others were curious, cautious. After all, the strange energy readings suggested that something was out there. Lyra, the insectoid diplomat, struck the table with her claw. Even if they are real, they are weak. Extinct races do not survive. We should focus on the energy-rich systems and prepare for war with the real enemies. Thalor, however, was uneasy. He had commanded fleets for decades and had never seen anything like this. I do not dismiss the possibility, he said slowly. This planet may be weak, but the unknown is always dangerous. I recommend we send scouts, unmanned or small ships, to investigate. We must not be caught off guard. The Council reluctantly agreed. Scouts were dispatched, moving quietly through the void toward the human system. But the humans had anticipated this. Their own surveillance arrays had already tracked the alien ships. Human scientists observed the alien movements, noting their speed, formation, and technology. "Prepare countermeasures," Admiral Morgan instructed. "If they come too close, we will be ready. But for now, let them see only what we allow them to see. We are ghosts, shadows. Let them doubt everything." The first scout vessels approached the human system. From the alien perspective, it seemed like a typical exploration mission. But as the scouts neared, they found anomalies. Their sensors were disrupted. Communications failed. Systems behaved unpredictably. Some ships reported seeing phantom signals, strange energy pulses, and even what seemed like coordinated evasive movements from nowhere. Back on Earth, Morgan watched the scouts struggle against invisible obstacles. A faint smile appeared on her face. "Let them think it is a natural phenomenon," she said. "Let them think the myth is harmless. Soon they will know we are more than a story." Meanwhile, humans on the planets below continued their everyday lives, unaware of the aliens watching them, or so the aliens thought. Scientists, engineers, and pilots moved through orbital stations and bases, preparing quietly. Children played under Earth's sun, while teachers and parents spoke of courage, resilience, and discovery. Humanity had not forgotten its roots, and it had not forgotten its legends. Every human knew that one day, the galaxy might question whether humans were extinct. In the Alien Council, doubts were beginning to grow. Reports came in from scouts that some regions of the system were heavily fortified, yet no human ships had openly engaged. The aliens began to sense intelligence, strategy, and caution. "I have never seen anything like this," said a young alien officer, shaking his head. "These are not extinct. They are planning. They are alive." Thalor leaned back in his chair, eyes narrowing. "Then we must be careful. We face the unknown, and the unknown is always dangerous." But even as caution spread through the alien ranks, there was laughter and disbelief among the younger species. They treated the idea of humans as absurd. "Ghosts of a forgotten race," one sneered. "We will see them and laugh at the myth." Little did they know humans were not only real, they were watching, waiting, and learning. Every alien move was noted. Every weakness recorded. Every misstep observed. The humans had patience, intelligence, and courage. And above all, they had the drive to prove that their legend was not a story, but a living truth. The first human reconnaissance drone passed through the outer asteroid belt of the system. Invisible to alien sensors, its cameras captured alien scouts approaching, sending images back to Lunar Base Alpha. Human strategists analyzed every movement, predicting patterns and preparing contingency plans. "This is it," said Commander Lee, pointing to the screen. "They think we are gone. They think this is a myth. They do not know we are here. And when we act, they will see that myths can be deadly." As the alien scouts reached the inner system, they finally caught a glimpse of the human fleet, small, sleek ships moving with silent precision. The aliens were stunned. Every ship seemed perfectly coordinated, yet none looked like the massive conventional fleets the Coalition was used to. "Impossible," whispered one alien captain. "How can this be? Humanity, it is alive." Far above Earth, Admiral Morgan stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching the alien scouts struggle to understand what they were seeing. "The galaxy has forgotten us," she said softly. "But myths are not gone just because they are forgotten. We are human, and soon the universe will remember." And with that, the first seeds of a human resurgence were planted. A species long thought extinct was ready to step from myth into reality. The galaxy, arrogant and overconfident, had no idea what was coming. The void of space stretched endlessly, dotted with distant stars and the glimmer of alien fleets. The Coalition's scouts had advanced cautiously toward the coordinates of the legendary human system. To them, it was just an investigation of a supposed myth, a curiosity more than a threat. Yet deep within the shadows of the system, humans watched their every movement. On the bridge of a human stealth cruiser, Commander Lee leaned over a holographic display showing the approaching alien ships. The vessels were massive, heavily armored, and equipped with weapons that could destroy entire moons. But humans were not intimidated. "They do not know we are here yet," Lee said calmly. "We will observe, record, and learn. Their arrogance will be their weakness." Lieutenant Harris, sitting nearby, frowned. "Do we engage if they come closer? They could destroy us easily." Lee shook her head. "No, not yet. Our advantage is patience. We strike when it matters, not when they expect it. Humans do not fight blindly. We fight smart. Far ahead, the alien scouts scanned the inner system, sensing odd energy fluctuations and unusual movement patterns. One of the alien captains, Carol, grew uneasy. Our sensors are confused. Some areas show ships, then nothing. There are patterns, but they are unlike anything we know. It is as if the system itself is alive. Back on the human cruiser, the crew smiled at Carol's confusion. Their stealth technology disrupted alien sensors, while autonomous drones created phantom signals to mislead them. Every human ship moved silently, invisible to alien eyes, as if the legends of Earth had taken a physical form. Suddenly, one alien scout detected a faint signal, a small human ship moving against the predicted path. Carl's crew adjusted their targeting systems, trying to track it, but as they focused, the ship vanished from their displays. "What is happening?" Carol hissed. "They cannot vanish like that." "They can," said another officer nervously. "These are humans. Old records say they were clever, inventive. Maybe we underestimated them." Meanwhile, the human reconnaissance team monitored the alien reactions. "They think it is a natural anomaly," Commander Lee said. "Good, let them think the myth is harmless. Let them learn the hard way that humans are never ordinary." The first real test came when an alien scout ship accidentally entered a small asteroid cluster where humans had hidden defensive drones. The ship's sensors began to flicker as invisible drones projected false energy signatures. The alien vessel fired its weapons at the phantom targets, missing every time. Confusion spread among the alien crew. "They are toying with us," muttered Carol. "But why? They should be hiding, not playing games." On Earth, Admiral Morgan observed the encounter from the command center. "This is exactly what we wanted," she said. "We are showing them that humans are unpredictable. We are teaching them caution. Fear is their teacher, and we are the lesson." As the scouts retreated to report back, human communication experts sent a short, encrypted message to the coalition. It was simple but unmistakable, a display of intelligence, coordination, and warning. "We are here. We are watching. We are human." The alien council received the message with shock. Many laughed at first, thinking it a prank or a technical glitch, but some began to feel unease. The message was not aggressive, but it demonstrated awareness, planning, and the ability to communicate across vast distances, qualities that no extinct species could have maintained. "This is impossible," Lyra said, her antennae trembling. "Extinct species do not send messages. Extinct species do not move like this." Thalor, ever cautious, leaned forward. "Then the myths were wrong. They are not extinct. They have been hiding, and now they are ready." Meanwhile, humans were not just observing, they were testing the coalition's limits. Small strikes were launched against isolated patrols, precise and non-lethal, showing power without revealing their full strength. Alien ships were disrupted, forced to retreat, and left with confusion instead of destruction. Every move was calculated to send a single message. Humans were not a species to underestimate. One alien captain, watching his ship struggle against what seemed like invisible enemies, muttered, "These humans, they are ghosts or worse. They are monsters of strategy." On Earth, the human crews remained focused. Harris watched the holographic map with concern. "Commander, they are regrouping. They will return stronger," Lee smiled. "Let them. We know their formations. We know their weaknesses. Humans learn quickly. The stronger they come, the better we appear. Remember, humans are not just strong. We are clever, adaptable, and patient. That is our edge." As the alien fleet pulled back, the council debated how to respond. Opinions were split. Some called for a full-scale attack, believing humans to be weak and manageable. Others, more cautious, suggested retreat and study. "I vote for caution," said one elder diplomat. "We do not know their full capabilities. We cannot assume myths are harmless. Perhaps we face a force we cannot predict," Lyra scoffed. "A force? They are stories, legends. We waste time on fantasy." But doubts had taken root. Even the most confident alien commanders could not ignore the unusual patterns they had witnessed. Humans moved differently. Humans thought differently. Humans adapted faster than any species in the galaxy. Back in the human fleet, preparations continued. Drones patrolled the asteroid belts, monitoring the coalition's movements. Stealth ships rehearsed maneuvers, simulating ambushes, flanking tactics, and feints. Scientists refined new technologies, from adaptive shields to autonomous weapon systems. Every human knew that the first encounter had been only a test. The real challenge was yet to come. Suddenly, a new signal arrived from deep within the system. A small independent alien faction had dispatched a vessel on reconnaissance without the knowledge of the main coalition. The ship entered human-controlled space unaware of the danger. Commander Lee leaned forward, studying the vessel's path. It has no idea what it is walking into. We can disable it without detection, shall we? Asked Harris. Lee nodded. Yes, but remember, precision, not destruction. Let them learn we are here, but do not escalate yet. Human drones moved swiftly and silently. They surrounded the alien vessel, disabling its engines and communication systems without causing damage. Alarms blared on the alien ship, but no shots were fired. What is happening? The alien captain shouted over the failing comms. Our systems. Failing. Impossible. Lee sent a simple visual signal to the ship's viewports. An image of a human hand raised in peace alongside a clear message. You are in our space. Humans watch. Humans decide. The alien captain stared, trembling. They are real. And they are. Controlling everything. Word of the encounter spread through the alien council like wildfire. Panic and disbelief began to replace laughter and mockery. Some members demanded immediate retaliation, while others argued for diplomacy and observation. For the first time in centuries, the coalition faced a species they did not understand and could not predict. On Earth, Admiral Morgan allowed herself a small smile. The first contact is complete. They have seen us, but they do not know us. That is how it must be. Let them think they understand. We will show them the truth soon enough. As the alien fleet withdrew for analysis and repair, human strategists reviewed the encounter. Every movement, every reaction, and every weakness had been recorded. Sai turned to her team. Remember this, she said. They consider us myths. They think we are extinct. But myths have power. Myths endure. And humans will always rise when the galaxy doubts us. In the distance, beyond the asteroid belts and hidden bases, humans continued their preparations. Each ship, each weapon, each strategy was a testament to a species that refused to be forgotten. The galaxy might have laughed at the tales of Earth, but soon it would learn that humans were more than stories. They were a living, unstoppable force. And as the first stars of dawn reflected off Earth's oceans, humans stood ready to step from myth into reality, proving that the galaxy had been wrong to forget them. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. The coalition's fleets, confident in their overwhelming power, had begun to assume the myths of Earth were just stories. But humans were neither extinct nor weak. They were patient, observant, and cunning. On the edge of a resource-rich system, human ships moved silently in formation. Sleek, dark, and agile, they were unlike any vessel the aliens had ever seen. Commanders on the bridge of each ship studied the holographic maps of the coalition fleets, noting every patrol route, every weak point, every predictable pattern. Admiral Morgan stood on the flagship's bridge, her hands resting lightly on the rail. Today we change how the galaxy sees us, she said calmly. Her voice was steady, but beneath it lay determination and fire. They think humans are a myth. Soon they will see the truth. Every move must be precise. Every attack must show intelligence, not just strength. Commander Lee nodded beside her. Our first strike is not just a battle. It is a message. Humans do not fight blindly. We fight smart. We fight together, and we never give up. Thousands of kilometers away, alien fleets prepared for another routine patrol. Their commanders had convinced themselves that humans were nothing more than an extinct story, a curiosity at best. They were unaware that humans had already studied their every tactic. The first engagement began near a cluster of asteroids that humans had chosen carefully. Alien scouts passed through the field thinking it safe. But hidden among the rocks were hundreds of autonomous drones, small but deadly. The drones moved as a single entity, projecting false signals, jamming communications, and disabling engines. Alien vessels faltered as their weapons misfired and sensors glitched. For every shot they fired, humans had anticipated it, creating countermeasures that left the aliens scrambling. They are planning this, an alien captain muttered. This is not random. They think like we do, but faster. The human strike was deliberate and precise. Instead of destroying ships outright, they disabled systems, forced retreats, and showed coordination that no alien species had ever encountered. Every move was a lesson, a warning that humans were far from ordinary. In the middle of the asteroid field, one alien battleship attempted to break formation. It fired blindly at phantom signals only to find its shields overloaded and engines temporarily frozen. The crew panicked, trying to regain control while human ships moved in silent harmony around them. Commander Lee observed the engagement through the tactical display. "They are learning too slowly," she said quietly. "Humans are never slow. Patience is our weapon, but when we strike perfectly." Admiral Morgan smiled. "Let them feel the power of a species they thought extinct. Let them see that intelligence, courage, and coordination are as strong as any weapon." Back on the alien command station, Thalor watched reports of the skirmishes. His reptilian eyes narrowed. "These humans, they do not fight like us. They adapt instantly. They anticipate our moves. This is not a simple species, this is something else," Lyra hissed in frustration. "It cannot be. Extinct species do not fight like this. They cannot be real." But reality was undeniable. Alien fleets suffered losses not just in firepower but in morale. No one had ever faced an enemy that was simultaneously unseen, unpredictable, and perfectly coordinated. For the first time, the coalition began to fear not just the unknown but humans themselves. On the human side, the crews remained focused. Each ship, each drone, each tactic was part of a larger plan. They did not fight recklessly. They struck only where necessary, avoiding civilian worlds and unnecessary destruction. Human strategy was not just about victory, it was about proving a point. "We are not monsters," Lee said to her team. "We are humans, strong, clever, and fair. But when the galaxy doubts us, we show our power. They must understand that humans are not a myth. Humans endure. Humans rise." The alien fleet attempted to regroup and counterattack. They formed massive formations using sheer numbers to overwhelm the humans. But humans had prepared for this. Adaptive shields, precision strikes, and feints disrupted the alien formations. Ships that should have dominated the battle were disabled or forced to retreat. One alien captain screamed in frustration. "No, they move too fast. They anticipate every maneuver. How is this possible?" Even as humans attacked, they communicated through encrypted signals, warning alien crews to withdraw where possible. Every engagement was controlled, every strike calculated. They were showing the galaxy that humans were not reckless destroyers. They were intelligent warriors. Thousands of kilometers away, civilians on a neutral planet watched from observation posts as strange energy signatures lit the void. No one could understand the source of the attacks. Only that a force beyond comprehension had engaged the coalition's best ships. Rumors spread quickly across the galaxy. Humans were not gone. Humans were alive, and they were unlike any species anyone had ever known. The coalition's leadership began to fracture. Some wanted to retreat and study this new threat. Others demanded a full-scale counterattack, refusing to believe that humans were truly powerful. Tension ran high. Every decision was second-guessed. Every strategy seemed insufficient against a species that could adapt faster than any prediction. Back in human space, the fleet celebrated quietly as ships returned to safe zones. No humans had been lost, and their first strike had crippled multiple alien vessels without a single unnecessary casualty. The message was clear. Humans were back, and the galaxy would never forget them again. Admiral Morgan addressed her fleet over secure channels. "Today we showed them that humans are real. We showed them that we are clever, adaptable, and courageous. Remember this. Every battle is a lesson, every victory is a message. We do not fight for destruction alone. We fight so the galaxy remembers who we are. Humans are never weak. Humans endure. Humans rise." Commander Lee watched the communication feed and nodded. The coalition will rethink everything. They will see that humans are not myths. They will see that legends walk among the stars. And when they return, they will remember this day. Even as the humans regrouped, one alien officer muttered quietly, "We were arrogant. We thought we knew everything. We thought humans were gone. We were wrong. Dead wrong." That night in the human command center on the moon, Lee and Morgan reviewed the battle outcomes. Reports of alien confusion, panic, and retreat filled the screens. Human scientists had recorded every anomaly, every reaction, and every mistake made by the coalition. This data would be crucial for the next phase. "Tomorrow," Lee said, "we strike again. But next time, they will not see us coming until it is too late. Humans are patient, but humans are relentless. They must learn that underestimating us is their greatest mistake." Admiral Morgan smiled. "And they will learn. The galaxy may have forgotten humans, but humans have never forgotten the galaxy, and now it will remember us." for our courage, our intelligence, and our strength. Far beyond human space, the alien coalition sent urgent messages to their fleets. They demanded explanations, reinforcements, and immediate analysis. Some factions suggested retreating entirely from human space, afraid of further encounters. Others argued that they could still overwhelm the humans with sheer force. But uncertainty had taken root, and doubt was spreading faster than any fleet could move. The humans had accomplished more than a military victory. They had shattered the arrogance of the coalition. They had reminded the galaxy that humans were not just a species, they were an idea, a legend, a force that could not be ignored. As human ships returned to hidden bases and orbital stations, crews celebrated quietly. They knew the first strike was only the beginning. The galaxy would soon learn that humans were not just clever fighters, they were thinkers, strategists and survivors. And somewhere, in a dark chamber aboard the Coalition command station, Thalor whispered to himself, "The myths were wrong. Humanity is not extinct. Humanity is here, and we may have awakened something the galaxy cannot control." On Earth, beneath the same stars that lit the alien fleets, humans prepared for the next day. Engineers adjusted systems, pilots ran simulations, and scientists refined strategies. Every human understood the importance of their mission: to show the galaxy that legends could be real, and myths could walk among the stars. The first strike was over, but the war for recognition had only begun. Humanity had proven that it was more than a story. Humanity had proven that it could adapt, outthink, and overcome, and the galaxy would never forget the name of the species it once considered extinct. The galaxy had begun to change. The human strike had sent shockwaves through the coalition, and no species could ignore them any longer. What had been dismissed as myth, stories, and legend had revealed itself to be a living, breathing force. Humans were real, and they were unstoppable. On the outskirts of an occupied sector, human fleets assembled in silent precision. This time it was not a test. This time it was a decisive operation. Humans were moving to secure the central command hub of the alien coalition, a heavily fortified station that controlled the fleet movements across multiple systems. The stakes were high, but humans were ready. Admiral Morgan stood on the bridge of the flagship, staring at the tactical display. "Today we show them not just strength, but strategy. We show them that humans are not only clever, but fair. We do not strike recklessly, we strike perfectly." Commander Lee reviewed the plans with her team. "We have studied their fleets. We know their patrol patterns, their weak points, their reactions. We move in coordination like a single organism. Humans fight together, think together, and win together. Remember that. The galaxy underestimates us, but we do not underestimate ourselves." Alien patrols moved through the sector, unaware that humans had anticipated every route, every formation. Human ships slipped past, invisible and silent, using cloaking technology and decoys to mislead the enemy. Every strike was precise, every maneuver calculated. Humans disabled communication nodes, disrupted supply lines, and isolated command centers without destroying infrastructure. One alien fleet, confident in their superiority, attempted to intercept the human advance, but humans had predicted this. Drones swarmed the fleet, jamming sensors and creating phantom targets. Ships that should have dominated the battle were disabled, forced to retreat, and left in confusion. "This is impossible," an alien captain shouted as his systems failed. "How can a species so small, so ordinary, control the battlefield like this?" "It is not ordinary," another officer admitted quietly. "They are humans. They think differently. They adapt differently. We cannot predict them." On the human flagship, Lee watched the chaos unfold through tactical displays. "They are learning too slowly," she said. "Humans are patient. Humans endure. Humans rise. Let them see that underestimating us is their greatest mistake." As the fleet approached the Coalition's central command station, humans executed a daring maneuver. Small strike teams infiltrated the station's defenses using stealth technology, disabling key systems without alerting the bulk of the alien fleet. Communication arrays, weapon control centers, and shield generators were shut down in moments, giving humans an advantage that the aliens could not recover from quickly. Inside the station, the alien leaders panicked. Alarms blared, systems failed, and reports of unexplained disruptions flooded the control room. Thalor's scales glimmered with tension as he barked orders. "We must regain control. Send reinforcements. Do not let humans breach our defenses." But it was too late. Humans had already calculated the movements of incoming reinforcements. Using adaptive shields and precision strikes, they intercepted the reinforcements before they could reach the station. Every alien attempt to regroup was countered with intelligence and strategy, far beyond anything they had anticipated. On the surface of nearby planets, civilians watched the strange movements of fleets, unable to understand the full scope of the conflict. They could only see that a small, clever force was outmaneuvering one of the largest coalitions in the galaxy. Rumors spread quickly. Humans were real, humans were clever, and humans could not be defeated by arrogance alone. Admiral Morgan addressed her fleet over secure channels. Remember this, everyone. Today we do not just win battles. We show the galaxy that humans are capable of greatness. We fight to protect, to endure, and to inspire. Humans are not myth. Humans are legend. And legends are never forgotten. As the battle for the command station continued, some alien factions began to reconsider their stance. Lyra, the insectoid diplomat, whispered to her advisors, "Perhaps we were wrong. Perhaps humanity is not extinct. Perhaps we should have studied them more carefully before dismissing them." Thaler growled in frustration. "We cannot retreat now. We have to fight. But every move they make, it is as if they are 10 steps ahead. How can a species we thought extinct be so perfect?" Humans, meanwhile, continued to demonstrate not just military skill but moral leadership. They avoided civilian areas, preserved infrastructure, and ensured that no unnecessary lives were lost. They were warriors but also protectors. This combination of strength and ethics confused and impressed alien observers alike. On one of the planets recently liberated from alien occupation, a small group of aliens approached a human landing party. They were cautious, fearful, yet curious. "Why do you not destroy everything?" one alien asked, voice trembling. "You could easily annihilate us, but you do not." Commander Lee smiled. "Humans fight to protect, not to destroy. We show strength not through fear, but through action and wisdom. You will see that humans are not just powerful, they are fair, intelligent, and resilient. Learn from this, and perhaps one day we can coexist." The alien paused, uncertain how to respond. They had always assumed that power meant domination, that strength meant destruction, but humans were proving that another way was possible, another way that combined courage, intelligence, and ethics. Meanwhile, in the Coalition's central command station, the situation grew dire. Key systems had been disabled, reinforcements had been intercepted, and alien fleets were in disarray. The Council realized, perhaps too late, that underestimating humans had been their gravest mistake. Thaler bared his teeth in frustration. "We must retreat. We cannot fight a species that moves faster, thinks smarter, and adapts instantly. We cannot win." Lyra shook her head, reluctantly agreeing. "We have underestimated humans. This is not a myth. This is reality, and we cannot ignore it." Back in human space, the fleet regrouped quietly after securing the station. Every system was operational, every ship accounted for, and every alien defeat recorded. Humans had proven that they could not only survive in the galaxy, they could thrive, adapt, and dominate through intelligence and strategy. Admiral Morgan addressed her fleet one final time after the operation. "Remember this day. Today, humans have taken the first step in changing the galaxy's perception. We have shown that we are more than myths, more than stories, more than legends. We are real. We are humans. And the galaxy will never forget us again." Commander Lee looked at her crew. "The turning point has come. The Coalition knows now that they cannot fight humans like any other species. They cannot predict us, control us, or underestimate us. Humans endure, humans adapt, and humans rise. That is our power. That is our legend." Far beyond human space, alien fleets began to withdraw, regroup, and reconsider their strategies. Panic and uncertainty spread through their ranks. A species they had assumed extinct had not only survived, but thrived. A species they had dismissed as weak had outsmarted them at every turn. And the Coalition's arrogance had been shattered. Humans, quietly observing from their hidden bases, knew the battle was far from over. But they had achieved something far greater than victory. They had changed the galaxy's perception of humanity. No longer would humans be forgotten myths. No longer would the galaxy dismiss Earth as a distant, extinct world. Every human ship, every drone, every soldier had played a part in this triumph. And as humans prepared for the next phase of their campaign, one truth became clear. The galaxy had awakened a force it could not ignore, a species it could not control, and a legend it could not deny. The Coalition had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans were not extinct. Humans were real, and humans were coming for the future of the galaxy. The Coalition's central command station had fallen, and the galaxy trembled at the thought. Humans had proven that myths were not always lies, and that legends could rise from forgotten worlds. Now humanity's next step was clear: to secure their place among the stars, not through fear, but through unmatched courage, intelligence, and honor. Admiral Morgan stood on the bridge of her flagship overlooking the quiet expanse of space. The alien fleets that had once dominated entire systems were scattered, their formations broken, but humans did not celebrate recklessly. Every movement, every decision was deliberate. This was not just a victory, it was a statement. "Prepare the fleet," Morgan said firmly. "We move to liberate occupied systems and secure the sector. Let every species in the galaxy know that humans are not myths. Let them know humans endure, humans adapt, and humans rise." Commander Lee checked her tactical displays, ensuring every ship, every drone, and every landing party was ready. "This is our moment," she said. "Every maneuver, every strike must reflect humanity's strength but also our principles. We do not destroy without reason. We fight for life, for strategy, and for honor. That is what makes us human." Alien patrols tried to regroup, but their morale was shattered. Stories of humans had already spread through communication channels, reaching fleets and planets far from the conflict. Some aliens whispered in disbelief. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and unstoppable. Others panicked, unsure how to face a species they had once dismissed as extinct. In a remote system under alien occupation, humans executed a coordinated landing. Soldiers moved quickly, liberating key installations and restoring communication networks. Civilians, long oppressed, watched in awe as the humans advanced. Unlike previous conquerors, humans did not harm them. Instead, they protected and reassured. The sight of disciplined soldiers working alongside liberated populations sent a powerful message. Humans were not only strong, they were just. On a neighboring planet, a group of alien leaders convened secretly. Thalor, the reptilian commander, spoke gravely. "We underestimated them. We thought humans were weak, extinct, forgotten, but we were wrong. They are intelligent, coordinated, and ethical. If we do not change our approach, the galaxy itself may shift against us." Lyra, the insectoid diplomat, nodded. "We cannot fight them like any other species. They adapt faster than we anticipate. They learn from every move. And they fight not just with weapons, but with strategy, courage, and honor. Humans are not a threat we can dominate. They are a force we must respect or lose everything." Meanwhile, humans continued their advance. Orbital stations once under Coalition control fell one by one. Alien ships that tried to flee were intercepted with precision strikes that disabled rather than destroyed, leaving room for negotiation or surrender. Humans demonstrated that power could be combined with wisdom. On the bridge of a human cruiser, Harris observed the alien reactions. They seem afraid, but not just afraid. They are learning respect. "I have never seen any species react like this," Lee nodded. "That is the difference between humans and others. We do not rely on fear alone. We rely on intelligence, courage, and morality. When the galaxy sees that, even enemies cannot ignore us." In the Coalition's central command hub, Thalor and Lyra watched reports of the human operations. Fleet after fleet had been disabled, territories liberated, and civilian populations protected. The alien leaders realized that they had not only underestimated humans, they had dismissed a species that now stood poised to reshape the galaxy itself. "Perhaps we were arrogant," Thalor admitted quietly. "We thought myth could never be real. We thought extinction meant weakness. But humans have proven both assumptions wrong," Lyra added. "And if we continue to resist them, we risk everything. Humans do not act recklessly, but when they fight, they strike with purpose. The galaxy will remember them whether we like it or not." On Earth, humans watched the progress of their fleet with quiet pride. Families, scientists, engineers, and pilots had all contributed to this moment. Every individual understood that humanity's survival and reputation depended on intelligence, cooperation, and courage. Admiral Morgan addressed her crew, her voice carrying through the fleet. "The galaxy has doubted us for centuries. They have laughed at the myths of Earth, ignored our existence, and dismissed our potential. But today humanity has shown that we are not extinct. Humanity has shown that we are a force for life, strategy, and honor. We are human, and the galaxy will never forget us. The final confrontation approached. Alien fleets loyal to the Coalition's leadership gathered near the last occupied system. But humans were ready. Using advanced tactics, they cut supply lines, created decoys, and anticipated every possible maneuver. The alien ships were trapped in a web of strategy, unable to fight effectively or escape. One alien captain, cornered and confused, finally radioed a surrender request. "We cannot fight them. They are superior in ways we do not understand. We yield." Human forces responded quickly, securing the surrender and ensuring the safety of alien personnel and civilians alike. Every action reinforced the image of humanity as a force that was strong, clever, and fair. In the aftermath, as humans regrouped, reports poured in from liberated planets. Alien leaders who had once scorned humans now spoke of their courage and intelligence. Entire fleets reconsidered their positions, some seeking negotiation rather than conflict. The perception of humans had shifted from myth to legend. Admiral Morgan observed the calm of the fleet, reflecting on the journey that had brought them here. "We have shown the galaxy that humans endure," she said softly. "We have shown that humans adapt. We have shown that humans rise, and we have done so without needless destruction, without cruelty, and with unwavering intelligence. That is why humanity is now remembered not as a myth, but as a legend." On one of the liberated worlds, an alien child looked at humans working to rebuild infrastructure. "Why do they help us?" the child asked. A nearby human soldier smiled. "Because humans fight to protect, not to destroy. We show strength through action, courage, and honor. We are not just warriors. We are humans. And that is how we change the galaxy." Elsewhere, Thalor and Lyra convened with their remaining fleets. They understood that resistance was no longer viable. Humanity had proven itself on every front: strategy, morality, courage, and intelligence. To continue fighting was to risk annihilation. Thalor spoke gravely. "We have learned our lesson. Humans are not myths. Humans are alive, and humans will shape the galaxy in ways we cannot oppose." Lyra nodded. "We must respect them, perhaps even cooperate. To do otherwise is to deny the future." Back in human space, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. Ships returned to bases, soldiers rested, and scientists continued their research. The galaxy had witnessed something extraordinary. A species long thought extinct had returned, not to conquer recklessly, but to show strength, intelligence, and integrity. Admiral Morgan looked out at the stars. "The galaxy will remember this day, not because of fear, not because of destruction, but because humans are humans. Our courage, intelligence, and moral strength are our true weapons. The universe has learned that humans endure. Humans adapt. Humans rise." Commander Lee stood beside her. "We are more than stories. We are legends, and the galaxy has finally remembered us." Far across the stars, alien fleets and leaders began to spread tales of humanity. Whispers of courage, strategy, and morality traveled faster than any fleet. Once forgotten, humans were now immortalized in the minds of every species they had encountered. No longer myths. Humans were real, respected, and feared, not for destruction, but for their strength, intelligence, and principles. The field of stars stretched endlessly, a canvas for the future. Humans had taken their place among the galaxy's great powers, not through arrogance, not through fear, but through action that reflected who they truly were. And as Earth's sun rose over the homeworld, humans knew the truth. Myths might be forgotten, but humans were eternal. Legends could fade, but humans would endure. And now the galaxy knew it. The age of humanity had arrived.